Ladies and gentlemen, the stock market is going up and breaking record for the wrong reason, and you'll be disgusted and feeling injustice has been done after this video, but the world is an evil world and we got to accept it. Let's watch on, shall we? In this video, I'll explain to you why the stock market have no morals, absolutely no moral values, and it keep going up in a world that is clearly wrong and getting more wrong. And today, I'm very saddened to share with you this knowledge. What just happened across the world is a very sad outcome where US forces have conducted an operation in Venezuela without international mandate or coalition support and outright remove the president and kidnap it and taken in custody. That said, this president may not be a good president. It may be evil, but the aftermath of this military operation is actually quite sick. And I'll share with you what the US is doing. And unfortunately, the whole world and the stock market actually support it in a financial sense. Let's just watch on, shall we? So we all know that the US have conducted a military operation that flew a lot of aircraft and attacked Venezuela, basically disabled many of its military capabilities and extracted the president out. Right now, the president is in American soil and under charge. And what's more important is not what happened to that president. Nobody cares about him anymore. What is more important is Venezuela. What's going to happen? So under a new Venezuela leadership, immediately the US is taking control like a puppet state. It's outright stated that they have control and authority over all the oil flows and the financial proceed. And this is Donald Trump saying it without any shame, right? Outright blazingly said that, Limpe will take all its money. Okay, so it's somewhat very sick when I hear that. And it's not a framework where, I'll cooperate with you. We will first take care of the Venezuela people and, prosper the economy. And of course, our companies will be there to support it. No, not even trying to disguise it, right? This is really outright saying that, you are as good as my puppet state right now, okay? And this is just outright blazing, right? Blatant aggression. This is explicit coercion, not diplomacy. So today, Donald Trump has just came out and just said that 30 to 50 million barrels of oil will be my Limpe ownership. US will control all its proceeds, okay? If you don't comply, a second military operation. This is outright military blackmail. Actually, I don't even think in World War II, even the aggressor, some of the aggressor countries is so blatant, right? They always try to give an excuse and pretend. This is Donald Trump not even trying to pretend. Maybe that makes him morally more transparent. I didn't say it's superior, more transparent. Basically, just saying, it's mine. If you don't comply, I will whack you. Now, the whole world is alarmed at this. This is a conditional sovereignty. So it simply means that you're now my puppet state, right? If you don't comply, I will take you out. Take you out. He's basically saying to the new president, which is what former vice president, and completely disregard any form of international law, humanitarian rights, and he's just outright robbing the country's natural resources. United Nations is completely helpless, right? The structure of the United Nations require all the permanent secretary members to agree when they, in order to exercise a structural constraint. But who are the culprits so far? It's always the permanent members, which is in this case Russia and where it outright invaded Ukraine, and also United States, where outright now robbing Venezuela. So one single veto vote will neutralize all enforcement capacity. So this is just totally useless, right? We always United Nations it's always been crippled. Right now, it's totally useless. So I think this is a very sad stage. And for those people, especially in Singapore, who always think that when Singapore is invaded or taken attacked, United Nations and all the other countries rush to our rescue, better get your head checked out. Okay. Now, the culprit right now are always the big countries. And a small country like us, if a big fish want to makan us, they can makan us, right? So it's very, very sad. So right now, the United States is not just eyeing at Venezuela, it's outright saying that, maybe Colombia will be the next one. Greenland could be the next one. Denmark, such a small country, what the hell can it do to Greenland? Greenland is actually under the control of Denmark. Denmark is like a tiny country in terms of military capability. I think even far worse than Singapore, right? There's nothing Denmark can do. And Trump is also outright looking at Cuba, basically saying that all Latin American state useless. And if you don't play ball, I really taken care of Venezuela. You guys are next if you don't play ball. Well, you know what happens? The stock market, how does it react? Well, the stock market basically react positively to this whole thing. The stock market today has now crossed record high. The S&P 500 has hit record high, and Dow Jones are going to reach record high as well. And we're going to see more and more positive news in the stock market in reaction to all this. Well, the stock market may be going up not just because of this reason. Of course, the AI boom is still going to go on and so on. But basically, the stock market have no moral values, right? It does not evaluate justice, fairness, whether it's legitimacy, human cause of suffering. Okay, it doesn't. It just look at money, money, money. And right now, it basically says, wow, with US controlling it, there'll be more supply of oil in the world. That's great. Control inflation. And US is going to be a richer country. That's good. Okay. And maybe with all these inflows of revenue into US, the debt problem will go down. The US dollar is going to strengthen. And right now, the US have controlled more and more assets. And US is going to be a more powerful world. The stock market, especially the US one, will go up higher and higher and higher. Well, guys, the financial world have no moral values, and that's just life. It's all about dollars and cents. Energy matters the most, right? So right now, Venezuela control about 20% of the global reserve of oil. It's the largest proven oil reserve badly being harvested. And the US companies just couldn't wait to go and harvest it. And right now, basically, US government is going to stop Venezuela from supporting all its enemies, in particular China and Russia, and just outright saying that no, that's the end of all this relationship with China. So this basically means that the power in economic terms and in energy terms of US has just gone up phenomenally, and the market rewards this outcome. That's life. Well, the unfortunate thing is this, that if this continue, there'll be more incentive for Donald Trump to behave like a bully across the world, and there'll be more coercion, okay? And US will continue to exert its dominance over strategic asset, and this is going to be a very sad world. Well, history has often rewarded military supremacy for a very long time, and they have always rewarded powerful countries, and they have condoned many a times clear violation of sovereign rights and human suffering. And that's a very sad world. But the stock market, unfortunately, will represent more the money side of things. And that's just life. So talking about money, so who will win in this outcome? Of course, the stock market owners, right? The shareholders will win and win big. And the consumers will also win big because the prices of oil will come down. And who are the ones who will absorb the cost? Well, unfortunately, these smaller countries are being makan up, which are being swallowed up by big nations like the US. And that's just life. Well, the great thing is that the stock market of US is likely to grow stronger and stronger, at least for a while, until whatever Tom Lee, George Yeo, and some of the big stock market bears say you will explode, then it explode. Meanwhile, I think you'll go from strength to strength. For how long, I don't know. I'm very sure a bubble will burst eventually. I just don't know when. I'm preparing for it. But for now, the discussion is not about that. The discussion is about whether the stock market is a place where there's moral values. And I'm sad to tell you, no, it is not. It's just reward those people who cite the side of money and just ignore the side of morality. That's just how it is. Okay. So where will you stand in times like this? Is a difficult question. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. And this is a very sad outcome. Tonight, I will be sharing a live stream on crash buying lesson 8. And today is about a scientific proof of whether crash buying works more than dollar cost averaging or versus other strategy. I have a scientific proof that's not developed by me, but by an independent financial research house. And I think everybody should watch that. I'll go live at 11 p.m. sharp. So please remember, log in. I won't keep those videos for long, just as I've taken away some of the other videos. So remember, log in at 11 p.m. Set your alarm right now. So we'll watch it and I'll answer questions during the live stream. Thank you, everybody, for watching. May you do well in your investment and the stock market, and may the world hopefully have a sense of moral values and come to awareness of all this. Thank you, and I'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.